nighttime shot in our foreground. We see kind of an angle as people approach it. We don't know what it is and what they're looking at because it doesn't even at that point show us that it's a speaker. Then it flips to the opposite side of it with a pole and escalator in the background, and the people stop. Then all of a sudden, after we get that, because here everybody stops, then we just get a shot of the damn ventilation grill that you can't tell whether it's a garage door
from a weird angle. Yeah,
it doesn't explain what it is, and it almost feels like they panicked, like, "Oh shit, we forgot to buy the speakers."
Correct.
Just use this ventilation shaft. Very weird.
We have not had any people in this courtyard this entire time.
Right.
When Caesar's out there
was running
around and getting caught, and we saw the military people, when he gets captured, we go back inside, he gets tortured, he then goes back outside, scurries along the courtyard quietly, amasses his troops with the Lisa command, goes and takes over at management. Because we haven't seen any daytime, we're supposed to assume this is the exact same night. So I don't know what fucking time this is, 3 a.m., 4 a.m. in the morning when these people are walking around. And
it's so dark and there's so little illumination. It does feel like it's meant to be very late.
But what these people were not in this courtyard. Is there some weird ceremony that happens in this particular population that happens at 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning?
Maybe.
Even by 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, you're seeing a little kind of little bit of light coming over the horizon.
I think that what would have been interesting too, to that point, Richard, is that had we seen people milling about in the other scenes, it also makes the apes
running around more dangerous.
It does make them more dangerous. And it's not just dangerous for the humans, it's dangerous for the apes. They're going to get caught. They're going to get seen. So much of that stuff should be there. And then in coming minutes, and I'll go ahead and say that when we eventually see what this ominous voice through the grate is telling us, why at that point do we only then just see the military action that occurs? These three things should be piling on top of each other. We should see a military presence that's slowly getting stronger while these people are hearing this and they're shooing them out of there. Because even whenever we eventually shoo the humans out of this area, it's very lackadaisically done. They're just sort of getting on escalators, looking around like, oh, something's happening. These things should be piling on top of each other. It's a very badly constructed environment, scene, execution, communication, all of it. It's just, this is a mess.
So we get through the announcer's speech, right? And a small mixed group of apes scheduled for intensive reconditioning have escaped their quarters at ape management. Until they've been rounded up by police, all citizens are required to remain indoors. A further announcement will be made as soon as recapture is effected. Now, Sean, your minute will end with us seeing the announcer briefly, correct?
And him saying, and I guess here it is.
So for me, there was a small disconnect in what's happening here. We're moving to a TV screen with an announcer that is happening what appears to be with buttons in a control room, right? But is he a news announcer or is he a command center announcer? Because the announcement coming over the air vents outside make me think that he is the command center announcer that we heard earlier through the entire episode. So I'm now starting to get this, like, who is this gentleman? Is he a command center just issuing commands, or is he actually a broadcaster? And if he's broadcasting to the center of the city, why is he only in a speaker, yet for some reason he's also being videoed? Sorry.
Maybe videos for people at home.
That's me nitpicking.
The videos for people at home, and the speakers are for people that are milling about outside, because in the future they didn't think they'd have TVs outside.
Yeah, I guess because we don't have the video surveillance stuff that we wanted, those kind of camera monitors.
And by the way, his performance is rather odd with I guess here it is almost kind of like, hey, and hit next on the show is, and then when he goes to read it, it's like, it's just weird.
We're gonna cut into the next minute with that, Todd.
I know I'm dipping into it. It's just very weird. So when you're listening tomorrow and you hear that, it is very odd how he takes it up like, hey, and then boom.
Yeah, and it's also very movie logic here, where it's the scene where important information is on the news exactly as you turn on the TV that's relevant to you. So, hey, we have important information, and here's the announcement right now.
Yeah, that's. I'm kind of glad though that you had the observation that maybe it's an internal video. I'd never thought of that.
Yeah.
Because it did bother me when I was watching. I was like, why are they watching Channel 11's newscast on the internal thing? Which you can watch news while you're in a command center. You know, God knows our commander-in-chief loves to watch his Fox News so he understands what's going on. I'm sorry. Forgive me for that. But at the same time, it was very, very odd. But then again, it also goes to, if that's a news set, that's like the worst news set ever.
Right. I mean, again, we're getting this announcement of a further announcement made as soon as recapture is affected. So my mind is he's the announcement we've been hearing the entire time about, unattended apes and this and that, whatever. And that's coming from a command police state, not from a television news anchor.
Right.
Which is why when we get to the next minute, I'm confused by what he says and the reaction of it. Do we want to go to the next minute? Do we want to keep talking on this one?
Let's go to the next minute. Sean, you got anything else you want to toss in?
That's it for me.
Well, thanks everyone for bearing with us as we try to figure out the two different versions and what's happening and how they intersync, excuse me. But we'll be back tomorrow with a little bit more of this. So until then, everyone have a great day.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
The Minute of the Apes.